I own a small mirrorless camera, which also comes with a small screen. So I decided to try an external monitor, but I have been discouraged because I have seen so many problems people have been putting out there about Sony cameras and external monitors via HDMI. Previously, and actually I still do use the Sony A6000, I had it hooked up to an external monitor and I had no problems at the time. Then I upgraded to the Sony A6400, and then when I connected my external monitor to it, for some reason, whenever I hit record and I was recording in 4K, I would plug in the monitor, I could see everything on the screen except when I hit record. So I thought to myself, well, maybe it was because of the monitor I had. So I went and tried out a new one, the Feelworld F5, specifically in 4K. Now I'm going over two things in this video, just a quick overview and a super short review on the monitor itself and how I got it to work with my Sony A6400 in 4K. Because I had actually done so much research out there trying to get this monitor to work with my camera, and I couldn't find anything. There was nothing out there that I could find, not Google, not YouTube, not Yahoo, not anything to help me figure out how to make this camera work. But eventually I stumbled upon the answer. So really quick, let's go over what's in the box. This isn't a full unboxing, but here's the box that it came in. Tells you that the camera has full HD resolution, 4K HDMI in and out. You can power your camera with this monitor, which is actually one of the reasons that I got it. It's light and you can use Sony NPF and also the LPE batteries. Really quick, these are the different features that come in this monitor. Now I know there's people out there that are saying just get the F5 Plus. To my understanding, the only difference between this monitor and the Plus is that the Plus is a touchscreen. Me personally, I don't see any point in having a touchscreen on a monitor unless touching the monitor will actually change the settings on the camera, but that's just my personal preference. So I figured I would save some money and just get the regular monitor that didn't have any touchscreen on it. In the box, you get the monitor and this arm, a cable, a little sun shield, and some paperwork. Don't forget the paperwork. You get what you pay for. This isn't a fancy sun shield or shade, but it does the trick. And this is pretty much your basic HDMI to mini HDMI cable. The shade, the little visor attaches to this little rim over here that you cannot remove. It's stuck to the monitor, doesn't come off, and attaches just like that. The little arm here is made out of aluminum and it feels like it's pretty good quality. The only issue that I have with it is that right here at the attachment point, a little weak sometimes, so when you're tightening this onto the camera, the arm actually ends up being a little crooked. I'll show you that in a little bit. It's got a nice ratcheting knob here for you to help you tighten it and also to move it out of the way if there's some cable running over there to the hot shoe on this side. And then the monitor itself, which is a 5-inch screen. I have had 7-inch screens in the past, and my personal preference is that it was too big to carry around. On the bottom, a mini USB port for upgrading, a headphone jack, which comes in handy, especially if you're using the A6400 because there is no headphone out. 8.4 volts DC out that you can use to power the camera with a dummy battery that's sold separately and looks like this. Or you can use this port to power the monitor if you don't want to use the battery. HDMI out and HDMI in, and 8 buttons. F1 and F2, which you can use to customize the way you wish. Left and right button, menu button, up and down button, and power. On the back plate here, this side is where you put the LPE6 battery, and on this side is the NFP battery, which you can connect like so, and then push this button right here to release the battery. With the battery connected, you push the on button and it's not hooked up to anything, but it'll turn on like this, and you have a little LED indicator here on the bottom left to let you know yellow, the monitor is on, red, the monitor is off. And then up here on the top right is a little indicator for how much charge is in the battery attached to the monitor. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but just so you can get a feel for what's in the menu. You hit menu, and here you have your picture modes. Hit menu again, arrow to the right, and you can change these settings. And here under F is what you can use to customize your F1 and F2. Me, personally, I have it set so that when I press F1, it flips the image of the screen in, I believe, 4 different directions, and F2 to zoom in when I'm trying to make sure that certain things are in focus. Hit menu again, and you X out of it. Now let's get this thing on the camera. Here is my A6400. So let me show you what I was talking about. When you put this monitor on the hot shoe and you go to tighten it up, let me take the monitor off real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. When you tighten it up, the arm appears to be a little loose. And no matter how many times I've tightened this, whenever I'm adjusting the screen on this arm, it ends up moving anyway. But otherwise, the monitor screws on very nicely. I'll take a look really quick at the HDMI settings. And I have it set to memory card and HDMI because this is not a recording monitor. If I set it to HDMI only, in either of these instances, then nothing I record will be recording on the memory card of the A6400. So I set it to that, go to HDMI settings, I hit auto, because when you set it to auto, the camera and the monitor should know which resolution it can accept or what it's taking, and then adjust it automatically. Output at 24 frames per second. And that's it for those settings. So we're following so far. The camera set to 4K at 24 frames per second. This HDMI setting is set to auto, and it's set to memory card and HDMI for output. Now, when I hit here and try to hit record, you see the monitor goes black. So I thought, let me go back and set this to 1080p. Now suddenly everything's showing up on my monitor. Excuse me, I had it set so that I could look at it this way. Alright, that's the beauty of the function button. All I needed to do was push that a couple times to flip the screen. Yes, it would be nice to have a screen that flips automatically, but you know what? To save almost $400, I have no problem pushing that button a couple times. So now I have it set to XAVCS in high definition. Hit OK. And now when I hit record, and now you can see that everything that was on this screen is now on this screen. And I have no functionality of this screen at all whatsoever. Which I guess isn't too bad depending on your preferences. I don't mind it terribly. I can see a bigger version of this screen, and when I hit record, it's recording to the card and not recording all of this stuff. And it doesn't matter because this is not an external recorder. But I got the A6400 because I wanted to record in 4K. So what the heck, right? Well, if you didn't catch it before, I'm going to show you the quick fix. We have it set back to XAVCS at 4K, and my problem was I had proxy recording on. If you don't know what proxy recording is, it's basically the camera is recording in 2 different resolutions to make it easier to edit on a computer that's not so fast. So when you turn it off and you hit record, you are now able to see everything that's on the screen. However, the picture does not show up on the display on the camera, just your settings. Now this is set this way because of monitors that do external recording. This way, monitors that do external recording record everything that you see on the screen except for this little battery indicator here. So it sends a clean signal out to the monitor so it can record everything without all of this stuff on it. Now, it's not perfect, but for just over $100, this monitor is everything I'm looking for. Yeah, it would be nice to have the features that I have in 1080p on this monitor when recording in 4K. But you know what? For my purposes, it does alright. The brightness is not too bad, although, I mean, it could be brighter. The monitor is light, although it is made of plastic. It's actually built really well, and I don't feel like it's gonna break in my hands or while I'm twisting it around the monitor arm or anything. And there's the added bonus of being able to set this up with like a camera rig and have it charging my camera at the same time. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. To answer the question of why the heck won't the external monitor won't work when I'm recording in 4K on my Sony A6400. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.